Hello guys! Welcome to the Alrasta channel to discuss and explain the exciting storyline of your favorite series, SwallowedStar episode 178. In the previous episode, when Luo Feng met the Chaos City Lord, Luo Feng panicked because his master discovered that he had the body of a golden-horned behemoth. However, his master was not bothered by this, as he knew that Luo Feng still had a human soul within him. In fact, Luo Feng was also given two treasures, the Beast God armament and Shi Wu's wings. These were given by his master as provisions for Luo Feng before he departed to fulfill his military duty at the Extraterritorial battlefield. A never-ending battlefield between the human race, the machine race, the insect race, and the demon race. After making thorough preparations, he finally set off for the designated location to fulfill his military service after reaching the World Master level in the Virtual Universe Company. What happens next? Alright, let's dive straight into the story. During the preparations made during the journey to the destination, Luo Feng, who had previously purchased 10,000 insect-like corpses, once again had the opportunity to search for treasure in Wulong Starfield, the former battlefield. During this opportunity, Luo Feng resumed his search for the silver fragments of the Flame God clan. Previously, Luo Feng had already crafted a warrior armor using black fragments. Well, this time, what he collected were the silver-colored fragments, which are much rarer. Once the number of silver fragments from the Flame God clan was sufficient to craft silver armor, when the armor fused with his body, the word General appeared on the chest, signifying that the silver armor was far more powerful than the soldier armor. However, when Luo Feng tried to use it directly, he felt as though his heart was being torn apart, with every inch of his internal organs being choked. Additionally, Luo Feng was dissatisfied with the effects of his silver armor, which only increased his World Master strength by 1,200 times and made him 200 times stronger than the black armor. The improvement wasn't particularly significant. This was because Luo Feng's body was still unable to fully utilize the armor. Therefore, since he couldn't use it to its full potential, especially since he already had the black armor, he decided to give the silver armor to the golden-horned behemoth's body. When he entered the inner world, Luo Feng implanted the silver fragment into the body of the golden-horned behemoth. Slowly but surely, the silver armor began to cover the entire body of the creature, with the words, Flame God, written on its chest. If the monster's body was covered in that armor, its strength would increase 3,000 to 5,000 times that of a world master. He could endure the pain because every organ and bodily function of the golden-horned behemoth was 30 times stronger than that of a human at the same level. During synchronization with the silver armor, the golden-horned behemoth's body slowly began to shrink. This was done to contain the armor's overwhelming power. When fully integrated, the roaring golden-horned behemoth unleashed the sky-tearing claw technique for an extended duration, forming a ring. It is said that if the golden-horned behemoth activates all the power within its armor, its strength would be on par with that of an immortal marquise. Not to mention the addition of Shi Wu's wings and the sky-tearing claw technique, which would undoubtedly deal significant damage. That is the strongest trump card Luo Feng has prepared and can be used if absolutely necessary. Additionally, there is also the King Tiger Beetle army prepared by Arena, which is nearly ready for use. With preparations now fully complete, it is time for Luo Feng to head to the battlefield. Before the extraterritorial battlefield, Luo Feng must first head to the Kongbird planet. This place is known as an artificial space defense fortress with a diameter of over 1 million kilometers and is also recognized as one of the military bases within human territory. Every World Master and Domain Master from various galaxies will gather there before finally heading to the extraterrestrial battlefield. That's why at that time, it wasn't just Luo Feng who arrived. There were many spacecraft arriving alongside him. After parking at the port, Luo Feng entered the gathering point through a corridor, leading him to a vast hall. Every day, World Masters and Domain Masters would arrive at the venue to be sent to the battlefield. Some formed teams from the start, while others went alone like Luo Feng. Luo Feng, who arrived at the hall along with many other warriors, was told to wait for a moment in the left area. The right side was reserved for Domain Masters, numbering 7,000 personnel. Once 300 world masters had gathered, they could depart. Since there were no seats, Luo Feng simply sat there, floating in the air. Long story short, when 300 World Master warriors had gathered, an officer informed them that they would be sent to the extraterritorial battlefield. Before that, the officers would assign authority levels to them based on their battle records in the virtual universe. That way, the officers could assess how skilled the World Master warriors were. After that, there will be a division of ranks within the army, starting from the lowest Ordinary World Master, then World Master Elite, and the highest General World Master. Just like the hierarchy in the military, those with lower ranks must obey the orders of their superiors. The division of authority among the warriors is also carried out when someone is asked to come forward. An AI robot immediately scans them, and the results are instantly available. The first person to step forward was designated as a World Master Elite and given an elite badge as a sign of their rank. One by one, the warriors began to step forward to determine their level of authority. There were many ordinary world masters and quite a few elites. But there was one person who caught the attention of all the warriors, because this person was designated as the first general world master in this session. And that person was Luo Feng. Among the 300 gathered, they will be divided into 3 groups and sent to different locations. In the group of 100, Luo Feng became the first general world master. This is because, typically, not everyone among the 100 World Master Elite Warriors can become a General World Master. Who would have thought that in the group Luo Feng joined, there was another warrior designated as a General World Master, named Yan Shi, also known as Rock, with a stern face, like an uncle wearing yellow armor. From his appearance alone, people could tell that Yan Shi was a powerful individual. Despite his stern appearance, Yan Shi greeted many people there, including Luo Feng, showing that he was quite friendly. After determining the authority levels, the officer announced that in the group of 100 people, there were 2 General World Masters, 61 World Master Elite Warriors, and 37 regular World Master Warriors. The extraterritorial battlefield has 11 locations, all of which are outside human territory. Luo Feng's group will be sent to Battlefield 7, which is part of the Secret Realm universe, with a maximum diameter of approximately 1.1 million light-years. The battlefield is quite large and contains 100 human military bases. Luo Feng's group will be sent to base number 26. The warriors began to worry because the 7th battlefield is said to be the 3rd deadliest of the 11 battlefield locations, with a death rate exceeding 96%. However, the higher the risk of death, the greater the military merit they will receive. After the ranking and main explanations were completed, a ring floating in the ceiling of the hall began to activate, releasing a steady stream of water. This was a teleportation device leading to the 7th battlefield at human base number 26. Without wasting any time, Luo Feng entered it. As he stood on the altar, Luo Feng's body, which had transformed into water, instantly shifted to another location in the blink of an eye. The scene then shifts to human base number 26, on Battlefield 7th. Right in front of the space shuttle, there are many veterans waiting for the arrival of new recruits. The veterans are waiting there to recruit new members for their teams before departing for the battlefield. When Luo Feng and his companions arrived there, the officer who had brought them informed the people there that among the new recruits were 2 General World Masters. As soon as the officer left, the veterans there immediately sprang into action, leaving their tables and drinks behind and heading toward Luo Feng and Yan Shi. To attract their attention, they also mentioned that their team was strong, had a leader at the immortal level, and were certain they would survive. These offers prompted Yan Shi to make a choice. Among them was a girl who released a pink mist containing enchanting power. The woman began to push away the warriors trying to recruit Luo Feng and Yan Shi using some kind of plant. With a seductive tone, She said that joining her team was the best choice for Luo Feng and Yan Shi. The charm she released almost made Luo Feng lose control. However, it was Yan Shi who was truly enchanted by her. However, unexpectedly, Babata was also affected by the charm technique, but she was able to break free. She revealed that the girl was from the Yanmu clan, a clan of witches born with very strong charm abilities. It seems that she is also a master of illusion, who is not weak. Even Atuka almost couldn't escape her charm if Babata hadn't beaten her up. While helping Yanqi escape from the illusion, Luo Feng asked the girl what the benefits would be if he joined her team. The girl's name was Mainu. The unhappy recruiters that Mainu wanted to take Luo Feng and Yanqi with her asked to be released from the vines that were binding their bodies. They even offered various incentives to discourage Mainu from recruiting Luo Feng and Yanqi for her team. However, Mainu tightened the vine's grip, showing that she wouldn't allow Luo Feng and Yanshi to be taken by another team. At that moment, she fed the plants a potion that caused them to grow larger as a threat to drive away the other recruiters. Her method was a bit rough, but it worked. Just by giving a little potion, the green plant grew large enough to make the recruiters struggle to reach Luo Feng. Even some of the recruiters were immortal-level beings, yet they still had trouble reaching Luo Feng. Seeing this, Babata was certain that there must be a highly skilled potion master behind Mainu.
命中多借主不小。这是哪一破？他背后。媚女，跟你说过多少？别，不准利用阿莫拉拢新人。
When the green plant began to shrink, the other recruiters gave up trying to recruit Luo Feng and Yanqi. Soon after, a little boy appeared and told Mainu not to recruit new recruits using the amo he had made. Amo was a medicinal ball that Mainu had used before. Mainu called the little boy Xiao Chenshin. That was his cute nickname, but the little boy preferred to be called Duyao, which means poison. Mainu explained that the space battlefield was very cruel, and there were always new members joining because the old ones had fallen, so they had to find strong members like Luo Feng and Yanqi. Duyao, while running, said he didn't need new members, but he was immediately ambushed by a white cat and its owner named Wei. Wei told Luo Feng that Duyao spoke that way because he valued his team's feelings. Wei was a beast tamer, a rare beast controller, and this team seemed unusual. There was also Taiwo, the team captain, who apologized to Luo Feng and Yanqi for his members' misbehavior. Before finally asking the two potential recruits to sit down and continue the conversation, Taiwo revealed that he was a master of Earth-type mental immortality.
我们完皮了。
For now, they only have 4 members, unlike in the novel, which has 8 members. Meanwhile, Duyao, the herbalist, is said to be just like Luo Feng and Yanqi. He has been a general world master since he was a new recruit, while Wei and Mei Nu had to face countless life-and-death trials before finally rising to the rank of general world master. Both of them have also worked extremely hard to break through their own limits. Taiwo is proud of his outstanding members, so he is confident that Luo Feng and Yanqi will not regret joining his team. Without hesitation, Yanqi immediately agreed to join. Meanwhile, Luo Feng was thinking that everyone participating in the extraterritorial battlefield had to collect military merit points. And before collecting enough military merit points, one had to form a team and obey the orders of a captain. Since Luo Feng felt that this team had a lot of combat experience, he decided to join.
很好，欢迎加入，兄弟们。接下来大家会报。
Before introducing themselves, due to Luo Feng's authority level being determined by virtual universe battles, he was called Crazy or Madman within the team. That was the nickname Luo Feng used in the virtual battle arena, including when the MC first clashed with Nolan Shan. By using that alias, Luo Feng could avoid drawing attention to his current status. After joining the team, Taiwo will assist Luo Feng and Yanqi in understanding the situation of the extraterritorial battlefield, as they will soon depart for the location. Shortly thereafter, they departed using a single aircraft from Base 26.
金沙之地。
During the journey, Taiwo explained that the battlefield or war zone they were heading to was a battlefield where different races fought against each other. Meanwhile, the military base camp is the main headquarters for the human race. That place can protect hundreds of millions of people from attacks by foreign races. It can also be said to be the last line of defense for the human race, and a military base for human warriors ready for battle. Du Yao, while mixing a potion, explained that beginners would not feel any danger while near the military base camp, as the foreign races had long since left that area. Before they set foot on the battlefield, Mei Nu gave the new members a guessing game. The question was, in the place where the woman pointed, they could see many ruins of other races' belongings and, of course, various kinds of treasures inside. Then why didn't they search for the treasures and instead chose to ignore them and avoid them? Simply, Yanqi answered, maybe because the treasures there weren't valuable. Of course not, Du Yao interrupted and replied. Because the places in question had many treasures, they had to be cautious. When they left the base, wherever they looked, they had to assume they were on a battlefield, where combat could break out at any moment. So those ruins could be a trap deliberately set by the enemy. Good analysis, said Mai Nu. It seems the new members have a lot to learn from that kid. Hearing this, Luo Feng and Yan Shi thanked Du Yao for the information. To lighten the tense atmosphere, Mai Nu continued to tease Du Yao. Well, as usual, they always joked around in such situations. Meanwhile, Captain Taiwo, who didn't want to put too much pressure on Luo Feng and Yan Shi, who were participating in the battlefield for the first time, asked them to act as support when needed. Their next destination was a star ruin located 80,000 light-years from their base. The location borders the territory of another superior race, meaning it is a battlefield where warriors from foreign races engage in brutal combat. During their journey, they arrived at a clean area, a location devoid of any ruins or space debris like before, allowing them to accelerate their spacecraft freely to continue their journey. Eventually, they were able to enter the Dark Universe, a relatively safe, fast lane. Captain Taiwo asked his members to rest during the trip and prepare mentally before setting foot on the extraterritorial battlefield, which would undoubtedly be filled with blood. The plane then entered the Dark Universe, and it was time to rest. Three days later, around the battlefield, we will be shown in foreign race, more precisely a race of machines or automatons, who have slaughtered the human race trying to track their coordinates, but ended up being destroyed. This race has a very high belief in their technology, which is more advanced than that of other races. That's why they can easily eliminate their presence once their coordinates are detected by their enemies. When checking the situation, the machine once again detected another human aircraft that was about to pass by. So it decided to attack again to make it clear who the ruler of the 7th battlefield was. The aircraft in question was Luo Feng's teams, whose members were playing Wolf Game at the time. They still had time to play games, guys. Aren't they afraid of a sudden attack?
美女，你偷！快，我没。
And sure enough, shortly after that, a warning appeared, stating that their aircraft would be hit by laser fire in 2 seconds. It was certain that they would not be able to avoid the attack. Then, will Luo Feng and his team be able to survive the attack? To find out, let's wait for the next episode. Alright, thank you for watching until the end, and don't forget to support this channel with likes, subscribe, and comments. That's all from me. Bye.
警报！飞船2秒后将被击中。
所有人出仓营地，历程该收稳了。各位，英雄兵的造诣很高啊！当然这一仗麻烦了，机械傀儡军团，雷电机械傀儡不会这么弱，已经将我们包围。疯子，还有后手，集结完毕。